Good morning, third graders. I welcome you to a brand new social studies lesson. Today, we are going to continue lesson 1 from chapter 1, unit 1, all about community. So lesson 1 here is what is a community? And in the last lesson, we dealt with the first half where we learned what is a community. And we went through the vocabulary that was important to this lesson, because if you know what those words mean, you will be able to understand the text. Now, today, we are going to deal with the second half of this lesson, which is coming together as a community, following rules and laws, and a community government. So we're going to see what a community government is. Now, before we get any further, please don't forget to pause this video for better understanding. Now, let's review what is a community. Well, we're going to look at a word web that we created, and we learned that a community is basically made up of many things, really. The national features of a community, maybe this community has parks, hills, rivers, lakes, etc. Then we looked at the man-made places, jobs, people from different cultures, jobs, and then we look at the transportation. Maybe this community has a certain mode of transportation. So all these are aspects of a community. Now, today, we're going to look at the following things. We're going to look into how rules and laws keep people safe. And then we're also going to state the role of government in making sure that there are rules and laws in place, and of course, the implementation of rules and laws as well. And we're going to see the use of museums. Well, let's get started. Now, let's recall a little bit from what we did last week. We went through these vocabulary words where we looked at community, citizen. Citizen is basically people who live in a community. We looked at culture and business. Today, we're going to focus on museum, law, and government. Now, the reason why we're looking at the meaning of museum is because you should know what a museum is. So let's look at how people in a community come together. I'm going to read a few lines, and then I will expect you to read, pause this video and read this lesson. All right, so here, most communities coming together. Most communities have places where people can come together. Schools are places where people come together to learn or hold meetings. People can also learn by using books and other materials at a library. Now, we know Qatar National Library, it's a fantastic place to come together. There are so many events and activities that take place. At the present, there are no events, no public events because of COVID-19, but there are some brilliant events that take place both for young adults, kids, and even for babies, actually, even for toddlers. So, and they have these events so that the community can come together. So that's what we're talking about. Now, you can always pause this video and read this paragraph right here. I'm going to read this one because it is the definition of a museum. So you can always pause. Please read this. All right, people visit a museum to see objects from other places and times, such as clothing from the past. They can also see art here. Okay, so the main idea of this paragraph here is that in what places in a community do people come together? So schools, museums, libraries, playgrounds, community centers, etc., parks as well, yeah? Now we know that in Qatar, there are so many lovely museums, and here are a few that I'm sure you're aware of. This one here in your picture is a museum in New York City. All right, now let's look at following rules. Now, following rules. Again, pause this video and read this half, and then I'll read this. All right, I'm assuming that you've paused. Let's read this half. The rules that a community, okay, communities also have rules. The rules that a community makes are called laws. People must follow the laws of their community. Laws keep order in a community. Laws help keep people safe. For example, traffic laws help people travel safely. Now you can see, you can observe, analyze this picture where there is a guard who is helping these students out and is making sure that these students are obeying the law. They're probably going to school and they have to cross on the zebra crossing when they walk across the street, right? All right, so I have a few questions for you. Again, you can pause these videos and do some mind thinking within your mind, or maybe you can think out aloud. And then I will share the answers for these questions here for you. Let me read out these questions for you. So the first question is, what traffic rules or laws in Qatar keep us safe? The next question is, what should we do when we go for a barbecue picnic on the beach? So you're going for a barbecue picnic on the beach. What should you do when you're done with the picnic? What happens if we leave our trash? Yeah. Is there a law you would like to share that could bring about a positive change in Qatar, being a good citizen? So I want you to think about these answers and talk to yourself, talk to parents, sibling, tutor, and see what answers you come up with, and then I'll share my answers. You can always pause this video. All right, so I'm assuming that you paused the video, you did some thinking, and now you have some answers, right? All right, so well, you have to drive in your lane. What are the traffic rules and laws in Qatar? Drive in your lane, maintain distance, respect speed limits. And if you don't do that and many other rules and laws, then you're going to be paying fines to break. And, you know, how we have speed cameras here that take shots of people who are over speeding, and then you pay fines for that. Next, so what should you do if you're going to the beach for a barbecue picnic? Well, clean up after yourself. Trash in trash bins. And please don't forget the burnt coal too, you know. That's very sad to see how people sometimes do throw away the trash, but then they leave that coal behind on the sand. So don't do that, right? And what if you don't do that? And if you leave your trash, well, be ready to pay a big fine and be prepared to be in the jails. So don't do that. Next, is there a law you would like to share that could bring a positive change to our beautiful Qatar? Well, you can share your answers in the discussion. So I'll be waiting for your answers. I'm excited. All right, now I want you to think about all the things that we've gone through. What does the government do? Why do we have laws? Why do we have museums in our community? We know that government is the one responsible for the rules and laws, right? So a government makes sure that people are abiding by the rules and the laws. I want you to think about these questions and what are you going to do? This is your assignment for today. You are going to answer a few multiple choice questions that I'm going to post as a quiz just to check your understanding. I promise they're super duper easy. So don't worry about that. And then when you're done, please don't forget to leave your comments in the discussion. I know you guys are going to do great. Best of luck, grade 3.